Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, items 10 and 11, I requested they move to the board that they be stricken as we need more information for items number 10 and items number 11.
Okay, are you making a motion to?
Yes, sir, I move that we strike items 10 and 11 from our agenda this evening.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion is carried. Next item is the conflict of interest statement.
Mr. Chair, in accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by this board in sections 153A-44 of the North Carolina General Statutes, it is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before this board unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and the board will consider the matter. No conflict, Mr. Chairman.
No
No
conflict.
Broadnax Taylor.
No conflict? Okay. The next item is the consent agenda. Could I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Chair Martin, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I, Broadnax Taylor.
Any opposed? Okay, motion is carried. Okay, item 6 is the rezoning of the parcels of land to heavy industry. I know we had a lot of discussion of that last time. I just want to assure everyone that if this passes, we will not put anything out there that we feel is dangerous. We would still control what goes there, but it gives us more options of what we can put there. Do you have some things to present, Derek?
No.
Okay.
Here for questions.
Okay. One question I have is, can we look at the things that are under heavy industry and say we want to require special use permits or something for additional things that aren't necessarily already on the list that require special use permits or that kind of thing? Can we look at making some amendments as we have a chance to think about some potential uses that we may be concerned with?
Clarify your question. You want to see if items that are permissible now under heavy industrial can be moved to special use.
Yes.
Yes, you can. Yes.
So we could do that if we want to look at that. Ouch. Okay. Just wanted to make
Now,
sure.
if I'm correct, any changes to the zoning ordinance must go back for a public hearing.
Right.
Yes,
But we can revisit that.
that's correct.
All right. Because we don't want to put anything out there that we feel is a danger to the community. I work within 5 miles of there, so in the direction of the prevailing wind. So if anything's out there putting pollution there, I got to breathe it myself. So
And the zoning ordinance currently states, thank you for this, Jason. That the heavy industrial district should not accommodate the most objectionable industries. However, industries are permitted by right and required to minimize their emissions of smoke, dust, fumes, glare, noise, and vibrations, and so forth. And there is also an existing special use section under the heavy industrial classification.
I know certain things like landfills and things like that already require that.
Correct.
But
But if the board so wishes to move an item, or I'm sorry, not an item, a use from a permissible use to special use, that is allowed.
okay, all right.
Mr. Bennett, I have a question.
Yes.
Since our last meeting, has your office been bombarded with questions from the citizens regarding these 4 parcels of land and the possibility of it being zoned as heavy industry? Have you gotten a lot of feedback from the community? Has there been a lot of phone calls from citizens that are sharing their concerns and people that are not feeling very comfortable about what's going on with this? And if so, how have those phone calls and concerns been addressed with those citizens?
Gotcha. I've only received one phone call from a citizen down in Seaboard,
Yes.
and they were more so questions about an rezoning and understanding what the Commerce Park is and what the intention of. But that's the only phone call that I received. Not to put you on the spot, Jason, have you received any in your office? So that's
Okay.
all I've received. And Shannon, no calls. Okay.
That's funny to me, why somebody from Seaboard would call all the way from Gaston that asked about something like that. When we got more problems in Seaboard, we ducking in Seaboard. And to ask you all about heavy industry when the citizens of Gaston are very concerned and came up to the last meeting and they don't want this. I'm wondering why you have not gotten more action from the citizens. That's hard for me to believe, but nevertheless.
Yeah, I haven't received any calls. And clerk, county manager's office has not, to my knowledge, has not sent any to me, so I don't think they received any either, so.
Mr. Phillips, have you received any phone calls of concern?
And my phone number is public. People can call me at any time. My email is available. I haven't received any. No, ma'am.
Mhm. That's questionable to me. That's concerning.
Any other questions
Okay.
for Derek? Board?
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Sure.
That's all I wanted to know.
I think we're all concerned about each district. I think all of us have got the same ideas that we would not like to see anything that come in that would harm my district or District 4, 5, 2, 3. So, you know, I would like for people to know that it is a real concern when we look at industries that will harm any district.
And I know we are an agricultural county. A lot of people made those comments. Certain agricultural businesses fall under heavy industry.
That is correct.
So, you know, it's where certain things can be bad that under heavy industry, there are a lot of good businesses that are still fall under heavy industry. And we would have the right to, we own the land.
Yeah.
We don't have to sell it to anybody that we don't approve of.
And just to add to that, yes, not the thought that all industry under heavy industrial as being hazardous or bad. That's not true. That is far from being true. Any other questions of the board? Anything?
Mr. Bennett, I remember one of the comments last day was some flags, you know, staked out. And just for clarification, because to your point, Commissioner Brown XL, I was at the Northampton basketball game versus Weldon, and I did get one question. And from those flags, that nothing is coming to that area that we know of yet. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And that's the answer that I gave.
Those flags were from our archaeological assessment that we
what I
are
said.
performing on the entire Commerce Park, which is paid for by the Golden Leaf Foundation as part of our site due diligence grant.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Yes, I think that concerned some people. They thought, they saw flags, they think we've got something already coming there, and we're doing this for that, and that's not the case. That's part of our due diligence, so that when people are interested in our park, that has already been done, because that can be a lengthy process, and that just streamlines that to where that's already been done, and they know it's not going to run into any I've worked on projects before where they hit an archaeological site and it shuts you down while they come out there and scrape and dig and whatever.
Shovel testing. And let me clarify, sorry, Vice Chair and Chair, you stated that nothing is coming. That is not true. And when I say that, that means if something's not coming, then I'm not doing my job. So something is always coming to the Commerce Park.
Understand.
That's why I'm here, is
Understood.
to bring industry and jobs and economic development to the county. So let me
Understood.
be clear there. If nothing's coming, then I'm not doing my job.
Nothing's locked in.
Locked in.
There you go.
Not- Understood. Okay,
People are
better
looking
word.
always.
Thank you.
But nothing is determined at this time.
Correct.
Yes,
Duly noted, Mr. Bennett.
yeah, we'll clarify.
Point of clarification. Yes, sir.
And I asked that question because I wanted to make sure that our offices are always open
Yep.
to address concerns that
Correct.
our citizens have.
Yes.
And we got to be in the offices to make sure we address.
That's right. I've talked
The
to some citizens at
concerns.
8 o'clock at night.
Mhm.
So, yep.
And I know you are, Mr. Bennett, but I just want to make sure with the concern that these citizens came up here and showed us, that we were present to address their concern,
Gotcha.
that we were in place.
Any other questions?
Only comment I had is, just for the inquiry that was brought to me, I just simply shared what we're saying here is that we are not in support of any hazardous, heavy industrial coming, not anything that would bring harm or hazard to a community. And so that's what I shared as well. So as much as we can clarify and share with citizens that that's what we're committed to, and also as a commissioner board to make sure that the information that we're sharing out is clear, is accurate as well. I think that puts us in a good position, because I did get some inquiries where there was some misinformation, and I had to clarify that. So it's very important for us as a commissioner board to make sure that we're sharing accurate information with citizens, so that it shows that we as a commissioner board and staff are on one accord. But definitely I have shared with citizens that I am not in support of any hazardous heavy industrial coming. So, and that not all heavy industrial is hazardous. So in doing research and learning more about it, making sure that I make that point as well, so.
Okay, could I get a motion to approve the rezoning?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of rezoning of the 4 parcels of land.
Okay, could I get a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed?
Opposed?
Okay. Motion is carried 4-1. All right. The next item is citizens' comments.
Yes, citizens, those who've signed up, when you're recognized, please approach the podium. Your comments will be limited to 5 minutes. The chair will cut off all speakers exceeding their allotted time. If you have questions of the board, you'll receive a response from the board or county staff. The board will not respond or otherwise engage in a dialogue with you during your allotted time. Pursuant to North Carolina law, this time is allotted on the agenda for public commentary on county business. This is not an open forum to be publicly critical of the performance of any county commissioner or county employee, and the chair will maintain the order and decorum of the meeting. The first speaker I have is Mr. Alan Tashima.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is just something, this is a change in the way I'm doing business this year. This is a recommendation, and I think it would support a lot of our fellow taxpayers in the county in that with the new technology out there, is it possible, and I think it can be, that whoever does your IT, you have a GIS capability on your website. Post on your website things such as color coding where the locations of solar farms are located, because that's a big issue. And the more and more I drive around the Northampton County, it's an eye opener of where we're allowing to have solar farms put in. The next one, which was very interesting to me, is that on Brink Road, Duke Power is putting up a huge substation. Okay, they're bringing in huge electrical lines to, what if you want to call it, harvest the power coming off the solar panels. So put those things in a thing so people can go onto your website and see what's out there in a visual representation. Most people are visual learners. The next one, and I've asked for this and I've never gotten it. I would like to see a color coding of all property that the county has purchased, because there's a lot of property out there that things come up and then all of a sudden we find out that the property owns, Northampton County owns the property. Then they've got this thing called, I forgot what it is, somebody can come in and put a bid on some property and stuff like that, okay? Also, what would be nice is that I wasn't here, but we just talk about 4 parcels of land and we give a parcel number. Well, a lot of us either are not going to go in and find out what that parcel is located. So, that would have been very nice to be part of the presentation, which it wasn't, and just say, these are the 4 parcels. It's called, and this is the first time, the first time I've heard about it, is a Commerce Park. Okay. The other one that's coming up pretty soon, I think, is the sewer and water. I think it's a contract or an addendum, whatever that is. And they're proposing lift stations. It would be really nice if people understand where a lift station is going to be on 46 and River Road. I don't think there's going to be any on River Road, but it's mostly on 46. The other one that would be really nice is if the county would have put out something notifying the people on that side of the county that DOT was ripping up 46. It's a 3-year contract. 46 is going to be ripped up until November 2028. They started just this year, and sometimes when you're going down 46, you're going to wait about 30 to 40 minutes because it's down a 1 lane. Okay, so that would have been really nice if the county showed it. And there is, because a friend of mine sent it to me, I sent it to our subdivision, the graphic representation that the state is putting out of where that road's going to be and where that road is going to move. There are certain sections of 46 that road is being moved. They're trying to take away some of the curves. The other one too, the other one would have been is if the county notified a lot of people that they've awarded, and I think it is, unless I misunderstood it, seeing it out there, is they've awarded the internet or the broadband installation. And I think it's being done by Brightspeed. They've already done a lot of the road, but they've trenched some fiber optic cables going down on the sides of the road. Okay, questions?
30 seconds.
Was that,
I said 30 seconds.
oh, 30 seconds,
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, no,
The last thing would have been very nice if you notified the people of where it's going to be on Bright Star. And then also make sure it's coordinated with the water sewer, North Carolina Department of Transportation, because some of those places where those lines are going to be, I think if the county rips them up, they're going to have to be responsible for repairing them. Just some suggestions.
Nadine O'Hara.
If it's okay with you all, Reverend Morse is there too. We'll group, is that okay? Or is
You
it just
get
six?
5 minutes, I mean, if you want to
Without-
talk.
that's fine, that's
individually.
fine. Good evening,
Good evening.
Thank-
you beautiful people that do our business, your smiling faces. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for what you do. And I do bring love in the room and concern for citizens. My name is Reverend Sharon Boyce, and I am a retired nurse after 42 years for working in several counties. One of them has been Northampton County. I worked in public health for 5 years, working throughout the county, happened probably some of your mothers, your fathers, your sisters and brothers. So I am a part of the county. I've been in the county for over 50 years, although I am a native of Hertford County. We are a newly formed group committee from Woodland, Concerned Citizens for Woodland. We have a lot of issues in Woodland that we like to appeal to the board to try to help us get some direction on several things. We have a lot of dilapidated housing. People that own these houses far away. We have discussed with our Mayor Bill, Randy Bill, who's been sick for a while, but he's doing better. Our Mayor Pro Tem is David Cooper. So we've been talking about these things. We have a lot of dilapidated housing, storefront business places that are in bad need of repair to make our cities look better. We are a county that we have decreased employee workers working in our town due to a lot of sicknesses. Our zoning persons and different ones that work for our county to get things done are sick. So we have decreased workers to do the work of the town. So we come to the board to see if there's something that you all could do to aid us in getting our businesses done, beautifying our community. We can tell what a healthy city looks like. The sidewalks are, well paved. It's, less dilapidated houses falling down. The storefronts look invitable to tourists, but we are a city that is in trouble. So our newly formed concerned citizens are here tonight to ask the commissioners what they can do to help us. I know sometimes when I come through Jackson, they may have somebody repairing a hole, upheaving some ground, and you may have about 8 or 9 people there in your forklifts or whatever those things are that tear up the ground. But we have decreased employees right now. We have reached out, according to our meetings, we have reached out to hire people, but they have to be taught. So therefore, we have decreased employees working to do the work of the town. Also, we don't have police protection. I guess I don't know whether other people have police on duty during the day, able to get them throughout the night. But we need police presence, more police presence in Woodland. We've got a section of road, 35, between 35 and 258, that apparently there's a puddling of water that's gonna take more than the manpower that we have to fix that road. And we can see that it's caving in a little between 35 and 258. We don't really have the manpower to do that. So we want to know if the county can give us some direction or offer us some of all this equipment that you have in here, or manpower that you have, being that you're the county seat. We just need help in Woodland to beautify our town, and also what you all have already, your research about how to handle these dilapidated houses and eyesores that are in the county. I know you probably have some information to give us, or some direction that we can have or give, or support that you can give to help us to be a healthy,
Okay.
thriving town again.
Your time is up, but if you could get us a list of what your issues are. I know
Okay.
you've mentioned all of them there, but if we could get a detailed list, we'll see if we can point you in the right direction. I don't know what resources we would have available but maybe we can put you in the right direction for seeking grants and things like that. I know there are a lot of grants to do those kind of things. Roads, a lot depends on who owns the road. If it's, because a lot of people have misconception, the county has no roads. We don't have any roads or any responsibility for roads. If it's a state-owned road, they should be repairing it, and they are responsible for repairing them. But if you could give us a list of what your concerns are, we can see if there's any help we could provide or point you in the right direction
And
to receive some help.
and also that maybe one of the commissioners can, our meetings are usually the first Thursday of every month, can come and listen to some of the issues in that way too. And if anybody else on the board has anything to say about what we presented, I'd like to hear that too.
Definitely. So thank you, Ms. Boyson. So just to make a few comments, as I had some dialogue with Ms. Boyson, we've chatted from time to time. I did attend the town hall meeting in Woodland. It was in the latter fall, and had a chance to listen into one of their meetings, but the mayor was unavailable. I have reached out to Mayor Bill on various occasions to see when we could sit down and kind of talk about different ideas or concerns for the town of Woodland. I say all that to say, back in December, we had our safety meeting because we had a lot of concerns around police protection and that kind of thing. And as I was sharing with Ms. Boyce, and this is just me and she and I had talked earlier, but just so we can share with the public, there's a breakdown between sometimes our town hall communications and the citizens. And so what I shared with Ms. Boyce was we had that meeting, and we talked about the different townships that needed additional police coverage. There was conversation. I advocated for Woodland to be included in a proposal that was presented the last month. And I had some conversation with Chair Martin and also Dr. Phillips. And I'm like, why isn't Woodland included in the proposal? And what was shared with us was that the mayor and the town commissioner said they had adequate coverage and did not need additional coverage. Because I know as I travel throughout the neighborhood, I go through the Woodland area quite a bit. I noticed the lack of police coverage at certain times. It was shared with us the time frame that they're covered, but I'm not going to share that publicly because, again, we don't want people wreaking havoc or committing crime during the time frame that they know that we don't have coverage in Woodland. So I will definitely speak with you offline to any citizens. But to that point, we knew that there was a deficit there. But again, as your county commissioner and as the commissioner board, we can advocate for things for towns. But if your town government, your local government, your town level say that you don't need something, it is extremely hard for us to just enforce it. We can't. So it's very refreshing for me to hear that Woodland has a concerned citizens group that's being put together, that's working together. I'm excited about doing this work with you. As we sit down to Ms. Boyce, I'll get together with you. We can look at the list of concerns for Woodland and really find out what the citizens need. And that way, when I come to your town hall meetings, I can advocate for your behalf. I can advocate to this commissioner board because they're very wonderful about making sure that we're doing things to ensure that our townships are safe and that they're covered by law enforcement. But we did advocate for Woodland to be included, and they were included, but it was the mayor and the town commission board that said Woodland had adequate coverage, and that was the reason why they did not receive that additional police coverage, because we advocated for that. Also, in regards to beautification of our towns, it definitely starts with us. I know I participated in a couple of cleanups and did one Saturday before last where we just went out, cleaned up in the town of Rich Square. We also went to the communities and cleaned up a lot of litter and that kind of thing. And so I'm looking forward to us doing some of those things in Woodland, because in some of our small towns, what we're seeing is people that will purchase properties, the property will grow up, or they don't keep their yards up very well. So as I'm having conversations with our mayors and also with citizens, we're looking at, trying to do a stellar yard program. If your yard is stellar and you are keeping it clean and you're doing what you need to do, then we want to give you a sign that says we are proud of this work. And then also making contact with these citizens that have these properties and these abandoned houses that make our homes look bad when they don't keep their homes up. So again, it's a lot of work that we have to do, but we are not going to stop advocating. So I'm looking forward, Ms. Boyce, with working with you, with working with the rest of the team. Let's sit down, let's dialogue, let's come up with some ideas. And also, we're going to try to do better with breaking that disconnect between some of our town halls and the citizens. I know as a commissioner board, we talked about going to the different townships. And this is a reason why I said I wanted us to start having some of these meetings in the towns, because we need to be able to hear directly from citizens. Because as we meet sometimes with our mayors and some of our town commissioner boards, and I'm not saying all, there is a disconnect. And what it could appear is that the county is not doing all we can to try to support. And what's actually happening is that we may be told no for something that we're trying to offer. But definitely, I appreciate you bringing your concerns. Continue to do that so that we can continue to grow and learn. But we're going to work together so that we can make Woodland better, and maybe even do some collaboration with both townships, because I know Rich Square is also looking at trying to put some ordinances in place so that we can hold people accountable who are not keeping their properties up. So, but I just want to say thank you for that. And thank you, Chair Mark, for letting me be able to speak to some of the things that we had tried to resolve as far as that police coverage.
And I would like to say, I've had some conversations individually with a couple of the commissioners. I met with the governor's staff a couple of weeks ago. They had representatives of Northampton, Halifax, and Warren County to meet and hear our concerns. And in talking with the chair of the Halifax County Commissioners, they have a committee over there that's made up of the commissioners and the town boards that they meet quarterly, and they take turns which town hosts it. And I would like for us to form something like that. He said he would share with me the bylaws of how their committee is set up. They select a president. Sometimes the president may be from one of the towns, sometimes it may be from the commissioners, and they conduct a regular business meeting of all the towns and the commissioners, and they take turns where it's hosted. And I thought that was a really good idea, and I'd like to try to copy that, for lack of a better term, and come up with something for us similar to keep in better contact with our towns. We just got to get all the business organizational part of it set up, but I thought that was a good idea that they do over there. And so we're going to look into doing something similar here. Okay, next.
Richie Harding.
We were here January 5th, I believe, and the citizens that no one heard anything from, some of them spoke, and they were here expressing their concerns concerning rezoning that property. On January 10th or 13th, I believe, we had a public we had a forum in the town of Galveston where the main topic of that forum was about rezoning that property. There was an elected official there. There was talk about a petition. Fred, we didn't go and seek 300-400 signatures from people all over the Galveston area, but we got people that live on Highway 46. We got people that live on Newsom Drive that's right behind the Enviva facility. We got people that live on Lebanon Church Road up near the Right Mile facility. We got people that live on Lebanon Church Road going back toward Highway 48. We got 55 signatures of people that live in that area that said, no, this isn't something that we wanted. And when I came in and I looked at the agenda, I said, wow. I said, you want to make sure that you don't hear anything else from the citizens about this before you vote on it, because you will put citizen comments after that. And these are the type of things that has regularly happened in Northampton County. And that's why trust isn't there. We hear that with the heavy industry, heavy industrial area, there won't be anything coming in that cause health hazards and dust and noise and all that. Well, we already have that because that's what Enviva has brought us. But for some reason, that's not dust, that's farm chemicals. But not only that one, but there's another site that's on Highway 301 where the old GP plant was. It's really, the heart and soul of it is in Skippers, Virginia, but the site comes over into Northampton County where now is a coal ash facility.
Actually, it doesn't, it's entirely in Virginia.
You can look at your JIS map.
I know where it is.
Yeah, I do too.
The road is the state line and
So,
everything's on the other side
Right,
of the road.
and the state line goes through that site. So like I said, that is something else that where we have something, things like that that's happening and people don't know about it. And I got calls about it. And I got to go down there and tell people, you got a coal ash facility that's right on top of you, but nobody hears about that neither. So that trust with everything that goes on, it just continues to happen. It happens over and over, and people don't have trust in what we have. People don't believe it. They don't believe what they hear. And it just get to a place to where I can see where even Earl Daniels said, I'm not coming back down here to talk to you no more. I'm going to do something different. So we will definitely do something different. But I'll leave you the petition anyway, even though we don't know.
And I will clarify once again, that property with that coal ash is entirely in Virginia. We have no jurisdiction over that property. I'm telling you, I know where the property line is.
I'm telling you that I can look at on your site, the state line runs through the site.
No, sir, it does not. The state line does not run through that property. That property is entirely in Virginia. I know where the property is. I work with inside of it. And when they did the gas line project that was canceled, we worked on that project. I know where the line is because we had to work on that project. Okay.
Belinda Joyner.
Excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat. But I'm just here to, and I got a loud voice, so let me move that back. I'm just here to clarify some things. You know, when I come before you as a board of commissioners. There's 5 of you, and I'm not singling out anybody. And as I spoke to Dr. Whitaker, I let her know that, yes, she has been to the meetings, and we do not expect her to be at a Tuesday night meeting when she has a meeting on her job. That's understandable.
I also thanked her because she has attended some of the documentaries. She came. Dr. Edwards was there last Tuesday, but then we have some commissioner that hasn't been there. And when I asked the chair about it, he said that if more than 3 come, it would be a formal
More than
meeting.
two, if as many as 3 come.
Okay, but let me read, I Googled it, and I asked, could county commissions come to a community meeting? And it says, yes, county commissions can attend community meetings as is often encouraged of them to hear constituents' concern, but their role shift from governing to observing unless a majority gather to discuss official county business, trickling open meeting laws. While they can't vote or formally deliberate outside of an official meeting, their presence at community events help them understand issues that they must be careful not to appear to be conducting public business without formal notice or procedures. Okay, and then it says why commissions attend the meetings, information gathering, to hear directly from residents about issues and needs, ideas. Community engagement, to be accessible, visible to the public, building trust and understanding. Representation, to fulfill their duties to represent the interests of the entire county. So that's everybody. Now that's what they say. So now I don't know whether you're coming, but I'm gonna invite you again. We do have a community meeting every second Tuesday of the month. And as far as this says, you know, this is your duty to get out and see the constituents, hear their ideas and what they need and what they want. And as far as that rezoning, you know, we already knew what was gonna happen before we got here. Because you wouldn't put water and sewage and plot off different land of zoning if you hadn't know what you're gonna put there. And Derek Bennett can say what he wants to, but he got an idea of what you all getting ready to bring there. But I would advise all of you to Google, he'll tell you anything you want to know. Look up hazardous conditions and factories that come under heavy industrial. And everything that comes is not a hazard to the workers, it's a hazard to the communities. But just like I told y'all the last time, I'll really do it.
What time is your meeting
6 o'clock.
and where is that at?
Wayne Out West Community Center, right on Highway 46. In Gaston, right up from the Family Dollar on the left-hand side.
Jim Nystrom.
Good evening, Commissioners. First, congratulations on a successful citizen appreciation meal. Dr. Whitaker, well done pulling that off. I want to just suggest that while $29,000+ is well spent on something like that, it was very focused on the area of Jackson. And I would suggest that the board consider taking maybe that same amount of money for this year, but giving each of you $5,000 to hold events in your local communities. And I'm suggesting that that event is called Commissioners, Coffee, and Conversations. What you're hearing tonight from some other citizens are, we want to engage with you, we want you to be present, we want you to hear from us, and we want to hear from you. So that's what I'll say there. What I heard from the citizens while I attended the luncheon was, what do you love about Northampton County? They said camaraderie, agriculture, and community events where we can gather and converse with each other, meet our neighbors, and interact with the commissioners. So that was a very positive vibe out of that meeting. And if you each get $5,000, you can have 4 events during the year, because coffee, conversations, and commissioners doesn't cost a lot when you're in a local area in your district. You could do 1 in 4 different places. We also heard we're all one race, the human race, and love one another, help one another. We're all in this together. So it was a great session. I asked the citizens, what would you like, if there's one thing you could change about Northampton County, what would it be? Guess what they said? More jobs, more high-paying jobs, and opportunity for jobs. They also said, deliver on promises made, communicate with us openly, regularly. Again, commissioners, coffee, and conversations comes into play, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. They also requested senior citizen activities, and support for small businesses. Derek and Shannon, your names came up earlier today when I was meeting with Mr. Dick Collier regarding an upcoming event on March 10th that the county, in fact, all 5 counties surrounding Lake Gaston are invited to. So we have asked the county to send a representative or more to the Lake Gaston Lions Club to sit with the other 4 counties and talk about how tourism is going to be used as an economic driver for the various counties. We heard about Halifax County in the last meeting. I heard more about it from Mr. Collier today. And I'd like to just make sure that it's on your radar screen that you're thinking about sending 1 or more representatives to the Lions Club Lake Gaston on March 10th to talk about the county's tourism plans and how it can be an economic driver, because we want to help. We want to be part of the solution and we want to be partners with you. We also believe that by bringing all 5 counties together at once, everybody can learn from each other, and maybe we can pool the dollars from multiple counties and do something bigger than we can do as an individual. Third, as you know, I've provided you a letter requesting the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission require Dominion Energy to add $10 million over the next 5 years to their budget to treat the invasive and dangerous aquatic vegetation forming in the lake. Why this is important to you is because it's a public safety, tourism, and economic development issue for each of the counties. Poor fishing, unsafe swimming and boating, less tourism, and decreased home builds and values lead to less tax revenue. This is a different issue than the issue that other people in the room are talking about, and I don't envy the jobs that you're in because these are difficult choices to make. But I want you to know that I'm here trying to help get money from a commercial organization to help solve the problem at Lake Gaston, which continues to have Lake Gaston be a place that people want to come, tour, visit, occupancy tax, all the good stuff that goes with it. I actually spoke with FERC today. It's the first time that anyone in the area has spoken with a FERC representative, and it was an excellent conversation. There's more to come on that, but I can say that the door is open. They're willing to work with us, and I'll be submitting to you tomorrow a revision to the letter that I've proposed and a process to follow. I just want you to make sure you're aware. Mecklenburg County and Warren County are considering a proposed development. It's 340 homes in Warren County, and it's on a V-shaped lot. So it comes up from the water and widens as it goes back. The 340 homes are in this wide area, and in the waterfront area are 370 boat slips, a restaurant, fitness center, community center, tiki bar, other stuff. So tax revenue for Mecklenburg County will be generated by that facility. Tax revenue for Warren County will be generated by the homes. Maybe there's a piece of property in Northampton County that is possible for that too. I'll talk to Derek about that later. Very last thing, Amazon Leo, low Earth orbit. What that means is internet is coming from satellites. The fiber is going to go away, and every human on Earth and every business on Earth will have internet connectivity within the next 6 months from Amazon Leo. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any others?
One more, Ms. Ruby Vincent Garner.
Okay.
Good evening, County Commissioners,
Good evening.
county officials, and citizens of Northampton County. Good evening and Happy New Year. I'm here to express gratitude to Dr. Whitaker and to other commissioners who made it possible for us to get some monies for the holiday food event that you sponsored, okay? And this letter comes from Taking Time to Care, Post Office Box 1064 in Gaston, North Carolina, which Dr. Flood is the director of this program. And the letter reads as follows. January 16th, 2026. Dear Northampton County Commissioners, on behalf of Taking Time to Care Services Incorporated, thank you for your generous donation. Because of your kindness, we were able to purchase 100 frozen hams and turkeys to purchase meals for families in our community during this season. Your contribution made a meaningful difference for many households. helping ensure that families could gather around the table with dignity, comfort, and a full heart. Acts of generosity like yours remind us of the power of community and the impact we can make when we come together and support one another. We are truly grateful for your partnership and belief in our mission. Thank you for helping us with this event. With sincere appreciation, our Secretary Janetha Powell is here, and also one of our board members, Richard Harding, is here. And we just want to say thank you for that effort, okay? We really appreciate it. And going forward, when you do something for the towns, please remember Lake Gaston. We're not a town, but we are here. So please remember Lake Gaston. And I'm so glad the gentleman mentioned something about Lake Gaston, as this is what I've been saying for a long time. Lake Gaston, Northampton County has a lot of possibilities. It's just a matter of someone coming forward, doing some assessment, and bringing something to Northampton County and Lake Gaston. Thank you all for listening. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Yeah, that is why we're bringing that sewer to that area, so that we can have a chance to expand and grow the Lake Gaston area. Is that all the?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I did, excuse me, Chairman, I did want to clarify one thing. So I did want to clarify that the 29,000 figure, or whatever the case was, that was pretty much an estimate of our budget to cover the various things that we did in that proposal. And I want to just make sure that as I sit here, that I give credit where credit is due. This collective commissioner board played a huge role in us doing this outreach. Can't sit here without saying Dr. Phillips, Dr. Gatlin, Ms. Leslie Edwards, and the team members that were just, hands on deck. And I cannot dare sit here without saying a huge thank you to These Restaurant, Ms. Vicki Bennett, who had community partners, and I want to make sure I share that, U.S. Foods from Zebulon, Cisco from Selma, David Burke from Northampton, because I want to make sure that as I sit at this spot that I give out clear information, and there was no way that we could have done the meal that we did at the price point that we were able to do it at had it not been for Ms. Bennett working with our community partners. And so as I sit here, and I love, my thing is I'm really big on buzzwords, whatever the case is, but commissioners, coffee, and conversation sounds wonderful, but the citizens that I serve, they would much rather have a conversation with me while I'm helping them clean up trash, or while I'm sitting down with them, helping them to brainstorm how we can get resources to a distressed community. So while the coffee and the conversations, that's wonderful. But what it comes down to is servant leadership. I don't mind getting sweaty. I don't mind working out. The people that's in my area, they will tell you that that's the type of leader that I am. And so we even said next year, we're going to plan out ahead of time. The reason that the proposal and the outreach came about was because we had citizens that were reaching out. They were having hardships, and we wanted to know something that we could do, and we had to get this done pretty quickly. So while everything didn't go perfectly, we certainly know that if we're planning to do something like this in the future, to do, intentional planning and intentional budgeting, and also having a committee that consists of commissioner representatives, staff, and citizens, so they can give us input and insight as to what type of outreach things that they would like to see. But I do want to say the quick turnaround was just nothing short of a miracle off everything we were able to pull off, and I can't sit here and take full credit for that. It was a collective team effort, but also to not allow anything negative to be tainted by the good work that we're trying to do. I feel like when you give somebody a compliment and then you come behind it with something negative, you might as well not even give the compliment. But to me, I stand on what I propose. I'm proud of it. The feedback that I've got from citizens has been nothing short of amazing, and I just thank everybody that helped make this a success. And we're looking from hearing from the citizens to hear from you what you would like in the future. And then that was pretty much my comments on that. But I could not sit here without giving acknowledgement to our partners that helped make that meal possible. And we were able to come in at a really good cost point, and the citizens were very happy about it from the ones that I heard from. So thank you.
All right, the next item is the Gaston wastewater line and progressive lift station.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have two resolutions that I want to present on tonight. The first one is the Gaston wastewater line resolution. It's basically a revision only. This resolution was first issued back in January 2025. You have all the supporting documents for the original resolution. The original resolution was for $14,014,812. If you can recall, we received a 2023 state appropriation for water, wastewater, in the amount of $18,042,000. So of that $18,042,000, we did the first resolution for the water line that we were just talking about, the wastewater line, Gaston to Lake Gaston wastewater line, for 14 million. And since then, we have two things that have occurred. We have an updated information as far as cost is concerned. So the new cost on that project is now $16,886,290. So we're revising the resolution to show that new pricing. The second item is on the second resolution, which I'll discuss after we're finished with this first. So the first one is just to record the new pricing for the cost of this project. And again, this is just an estimate, has not gone out for bid yet. I'll entertain any questions.
And it still falls under the grant,
Yes, sir.
so it's covered by the grant, okay? Anyone have any questions for county manager?
What was that first price?
The first price was 14,000, put my glasses on, $812.
Okay,
So you can see what inflation has done
yep.
since then, that original estimate.
Could I get a motion to approve this revised resolution?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the revised resolution as presented by the county manager.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I'm sorry, there's also with that resolution, the capital project ordinance is included with that, the
Okay.
revised capital project ordinance. So if you can approve
Okay,
both.
you want to amend that to include the project ordinance also?
Mr. Chairman, I move to amend the previous motion to include the capital ordinance as presented by the county manager.
Second.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 I, Broadnax Taylor.
Okay, motion is carried. All right,
Okay, now the second resolution is, again, you all are familiar with this. Derek presented the fact that we did receive that $500,000 seed grant for the progressive system lift station replacement. So this is the resolution to memorialize that, including with that $500,000 grant from SCRC, we are allocating or appropriating an additional $732,467 for the total project price of $1,232,467. The $732,467 appropriation is coming from the 2023
$18 million.
appropriation.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So in that appropriation, they allow us to use multiple projects for that 18 million.
Right,
So at the end of the day, just in case you're curious, with this 732,000 allocation plus the adjustment that we made for the increased pricing, we will have about $423,243 left that has not been appropriated from the 2023 state appropriation.
So included in your packet is the resolution and the capital project ordinance, which I'm asking for approval
For the lift station,
on that.
okay? All right,
And if our citizens are not clear, could you explain what a lift system is, Mr. Phillips?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, could you please kind of briefly explain what a lift system is?
I get the subject matter expert.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. I'm sorry, I forgot you were sitting back there.
That's no worries. Thank you for allowing me to speak. This will be a lift station,
Lift station, thank you.
grade, and that's a duplex pump station. It's just 2 pumps that will be able to pump wastewater from one site to another
Mhm.
and to do it equitably and safely, ensuring no spills, no issues like that. So this is to upgrade a station that's already in place.
Thank you.
all right. Okay, could I get a motion to approve the lift station resolution and capital ordinance?
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the lift station, and also you said the capital project ordinance, okay?
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Broadnax Taylor?
Okay, motion is carried.
Thank you.
All right, next is ECU benefits grant paper, Craig Ellison.
Want to wish everybody a good evening and
Evening.
good to see everybody. And I'm coming before you tonight to let you know that Northampton County Cooperative Extension is going to be applying for ECU Health, Roanoke Chowan Hospital Community Benefit Grant Funds. We've come to you in the past mainly for our educational programming. This year, we're tweaking this a little bit. When we saw some of the SNAP funds get pulled from the federal level, it affected one of our salaried positions. So we're also asking for $10,000 to go toward a FCS position for our family consumer science agent. And like I said, it's due to the withdrawal of some of the SNAP funding that was coming to us. We're also asking for the traditional programming funding of $2,000. And we use that for our educational programming that mainly involves nutrition education, health and wellness, food safety, food preservation, and just the general local food systems. And of course, we want to encourage physical activity after the new year comes in. So the purpose for me being here is just to let you know that I'm coming and asking y'all to give me permission to go through Dr. Phillips to pursue this grant. And these funds will, if approved, I will come before you again and ask for your permission for him to sign off on any contract to take those funds and put them into the county budget for whatever county line the finance officer tells me to put it in. And if I didn't do a good job, I know one of y'all will have a question for me so that maybe I can clarify that before I sit down.
Does anyone have any questions for Craig?
Okay. All right. We thank you for y'all's time.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Great.
thank you.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to approve the county manager permission to sign these grant applications?
I'll approve.
We have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Broadnax Taylor?
Aye, aye. All right, motion is carried. Thank you. All right, economic development matters. Derek. Oh, okay, Shannon then. It says Derek on my phone.
He's cuter than me, so sorry, y'all. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm actually going to be sharing some good news with you, and hopefully the rest of the audience will find it great too. So in economic development, we obviously cover a lot of different things, trying to bring businesses to the area, infrastructure, grant writing, but we also, as part of our team, run a nonprofit grant program. So it's just a little bit of extra money to our nonprofits here in the county that might need a little boost to keep them going, because being a small county, our volunteers and our nonprofits play a very important role. So we do this annually. We're opening up the new round of applications for the upcoming year, but I wanted to give you a few of the highlights that we had from the previous year and let you know how the money is going back into the community. I do want to point out we run a pretty rigorous program. It's not a free-for-all. We do require, it's a competitive application process. It is a very thorough application process. And when we go through and we pick where the money goes, we really do look at what's going back into the community for the good of the community. And so the past year, we had a couple of recipients. One was our Lake Gaston Community Center, which Ms. Ruby can attest to. They spent the money on a historical marker. The site is a former Rosenwald school, and I don't know how many people are familiar with that. The Rosenwald schools are a very important part of our history. We had 21 schools here in Northampton County. This was a program started by, let me get his name here, head of Sears and Roebuck and Booker T. Washington. They wanted to give, especially during segregation, an opportunity for our African-American children to learn and grow and have the same educational opportunities that white children had. And so this program was very important part of our history. And so when the Lake Gaston Community Center came to us and wanted to put this historical marker up, we felt that that was important because this is an important part of our history. The Lake Gaston area does get a lot of tourism and people coming to the area, and the community center gives back. So that was one of the programs we did. We're very proud of that. We did see that there's going to be a dedication on Saturday, February 2nd at 1 p.m. February 21st. So hopefully we'll be there to support that. Another one of our recipients was the Garrisburg Volunteer Fire Department, and across our county, our volunteer first responders, very, very important. These are people that just decide to put their life on the line to keep our communities safe. They needed some additional equipment, so we were able to support them. The equipment, they've trained on it, and this is going to help them respond faster to fires and cut back on some of the damage that can be done. Being volunteers, some of the equipment's outdated, and we need to keep our citizens safe. So we felt that this was a worthy cause to support. And then last but not least, we have our Community Senior Enhancement Program, which is based in Severn, right here in Northampton County. We have an aging population. More and more senior citizens are in need of people to help them with nutrition, with meals, with community, people to come drive them places, a meeting place. Well, their building was having a lot of issues. It was becoming dangerous for the volunteers and the senior citizens. They needed some much needed renovations. So we helped fund some of those to keep the floor from falling in and to give our seniors, and they do work with multiple communities. It's Northampton and then surrounding areas. So it's a good way to give back to the community, but we're very proud of this program. We've just opened up for our 2026 funding. We hope to have more great partnerships going forward, but thank you for your time and giving us the opportunity to help our nonprofits and our volunteers. Any questions? Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Very good. Okay. Do you have anything, Derek? Okay. Were we gonna look at the bylaws tonight? Or was that? I was gonna say, it's on here. No, that was all together.
Okay. In your package, you should see a revised version of the decision paper from the last meeting. The board requested bear with me. There we go. The board requested a write-up of the current members and their location, which is in your package. And then the meeting schedule as well. The meeting schedule is bi-monthly on the second Tuesday of each month. Not going to read through the entire list, but you'll see the changes in the decision paper that is recommended by the EDC Commission. It was a unanimous approval. I can read through those again if need be, but if not, you have them in your package. And the board will need to vote on those changes as well as the appointment of 4 members and 1 appointment from the Board of Commissioners.
Okay, do you know what page the names were?
That's right here.
Trying to find it.
I don't know which page. Not sure which page, but I can give you the names. It is Erica Smith, Mary Faison, Catherine Strickland, Robert Price,
Hadn't gotten
and
far.
Stephanie Taylor.
Stephanie Taylor.
All right, okay.
Of those members, the board will need to appoint 4 of those, and then 1 representative from the Board of Commissioners, currently being served by Vice Chair Dr. Edwards.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Derek in regard to the changes and the proposed board members? How often do they serve? I mean, how long do they serve?
4-year terms.
4-year terms, okay. So with them all being appointed at the same time, there would be,
Or the board at its discretion can set the designated term, since we are appointing 4 members so that they all don't expire at the same time. The commission did not make a recommendation on the terms. They left that at the discretion of the board.
okay. Anyone have any questions for Derek?
And they meet in your office, Mr. Bennett?
No, at the prior Board of Commissioners meeting room at the J.W. Faison building.
Could I get a motion to approve the changes, and would you be interested in continuing to serve as the board's rep?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
Thank you, Chairman. I only have one comment, and I did have conversation with Mr. Bennett and also with Dr. Edwards, and I told him that I would be in support of this as long as I felt that the team members were effective team members, and also that information. I know there are certain things about economic development that can be shared, and there are certain things that cannot be shared, but I would just charge each team member the things that you are able to share with your community to make sure that you're sharing that information with your community and making sure you're not giving misinformation, and also making sure that you're present in the community. I had an opportunity to speak with one particular representative, and we had some good dialogue, and I just want to just make sure that I echo that, because I think, as I heard some of the comments on tonight, it's critical that we have team members that are working together towards the same direction with leadership, with staff, with citizens, and that we don't have individuals on the team that's giving misinformation or omitting information that they are fully aware of. But that was my only comment on that. But I did have an opportunity to speak with a representative that represents the Rich Square and Woodland area, and we also participated in a town cleanup together. But I would just, charge the members just to make sure that you are sharing clear information and working together productively as a team.
Mr. Bennett,
And I will-
I won't hold, I'm sorry, I won't hold you up, but do you all put out any type of newsletter so we could give that to the citizens, or of information that might be useful as far as economic development or what you're doing in the meetings that might be of interest to our citizens to keep them informed about certain things?
Yeah, we don't do a formal newsletter. We do the press releases that we send out, and we'll post them on Facebook as well as send them to the Board of Commissioners. That is something that we're working on with our new website, where we'll put those announcements on the website. But as far as a newsletter, no, we do not.
Okay. Because we got citizens, I have citizens that ask me a lot of questions about, well, what do they do? What does
What is
your-
economic
What
development?
does that, what does economic development do? What do they do in the meetings? And I think they just need more promotion in that area.
Certainly.
So citizens will be transparent with citizens.
We'll look into that, certainly.
Thank you.
Great recommendation. Oh,
That's,
it is. The second Tuesday of every other month. 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Yeah. What's the,
Oh,
which
sorry,
month is the
February.
beginning? So
February is the
starting
first month,
February,
yes.
so then there'll be February, April, et
Yes,
cetera. Okay.
yep.
Okay,
And we'll,
yeah.
we'll send,
The old county commissioners, building.
Yeah.
6
6
p.m.
o'clock. J.W. Faison.
Second Tuesday.
Second Tuesday.
and we'll make sure that it's posted as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
And Chairman, I did misspeak earlier that the
Second Tuesday.
appointees serve 3-year terms, not 4.
They do this.
Yeah, it is 3 years.
All right.
And of those that is presented to the board, 4 of those will have to be appointed to the commission.
Okay. Okay, could I get a motion to approve the changes to their bylaws and approve the board members as recommended?
Mr. Chairman, let me make sure I'm understanding. Now, we would only need 4, is that correct?
That is correct.
Mr. Bennett, of the 5.
Of the 5, that is
And
correct.
also with me wanting to assume the role once again, plus myself, making a total of 5,
Making a
not
total
the
of
6.
Correct.
One was coming off of here. I think you had told me before, but
Said it again.
one of the existing 5. Or you're trying to reappoint?
Strickland, is that,
Correct.
okay, yes,
Okay, Strickland is coming off. So
yes.
you'll be reappointing Erica Smith, Mary Faison, Robert Price, Stephanie Taylor, and Dr. Kevin Edwards from our board.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Anyone else have any questions?
Okay, no. I move approval of the changes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, Broadnax
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you. Now that is all I have.
Okay, all right. Okay. Tax Department matters. Do we have anything tonight?
Ms. Jamie is not here tonight, but she did want to pass along the message. On last Thursday, Northampton County hosted for the first time the Coastal Plains Tax Association annual meeting. And she just wanted to say thank you to the commissioners and county staff that came out to support her. As again, this was the first time that we have hosted in Northampton County. And it was, people showed up and showed out. It was packed in there. The food was good. So she just wants to say thank you. Much appreciated.
She did a fabulous job and represented us very well. There were a lot of people there.
It was a good event.
Very proud of Miss Mason.
Okay, human resources.
I'm stepping in for you, resources as well. Ms. Sierra presents the retiree. If I put my glasses on, this is the Medicare Advantage employer agreement. This is standard agreement that we have every year. It's the insurance for our retirees. The key point here is the pricing has gone up from $268 in the previous year to now $368. So total annual impact of that is $78,000. And what's key to that is the period of coverage is from January to December. So a portion of that is going to impact this year's budget, but we have it covered in the budget. So we're going to have a transfer of 39,000, not tonight, but on the next go round. It's going to come from the non-departmental expense line, which has an available budget of 145,510. So that'll cover the exposure for this renewal. Again, this is for the retirees. We have 65 retirees.
This only affects retirees that don't you have to do 30 years to get your insurance, I believe?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So any of these people receiving this served for 30 years or more. If you retire at less than 30, you don't get it. That's what I thought. Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Did I get a motion to approve this insurance increase?
Chair Martin, I make a motion that we approve the insurance increase.
Second.
Any discussion? Not all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Motion is carried. Is that all for that? Okay, financial department.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The first item I have is the budget amendment number 6. The first item is a cooperative extension grant that was presented for 4-H grant revenue. This was presented at the last meeting. We received the award for $800. And the next line item is for fund balance appropriation for military surplus equipment for the Sheriff's Department. These funds are restricted. So anytime our Sheriff's Department purchases military surplus equipment, the Department of Public Safety regulates that equipment anytime it's sold or wrecked, and we get funds from those military equipment. We have to put that money back into the sheriff's budget. So we have reconciled, I've gone back 3 years to see the profits and what they have spent so that we can put that money back in their line so they can use that money. And that totals $37,833. And the other item at the bottom, under expenditures, you'll see 2 lines, contingency for $30,000 moving to Northampton County Public Schools. This is for the new market tax credit fee that was presented at the last board meeting and approved by this board.
Okay. Do you want to have any questions in regard to this budget amendment? Not, could I get a motion to approve it?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, Barnex Taylor.
Okay, motion is carried. Budget amendment's approved.
Thank you.
Okay,
The next item I have is the November 2025 monthly financial report. If you go to page 2, under Exhibit 1, this is our county revenues in general fund. Our revenues are trending on track with last year at this time with only a 1.2% difference. On page 3, Exhibit 2, are our collected taxes as of November 30th, 2025. Avalon taxes collected are up from last month's report by 5.2 million. That is 38.89% of our total tax levy. And we will continue to see that rise as the tax deadline approaches. On page 4, Exhibit 3, expenditures are expected to be around 41.66% in the 5th month of the fiscal year. I'm sorry, I had a cough drop in my mouth. I will go ahead and mention the outliers that are in the report that fall above that 41.66%. Finance, as mentioned before, we pay the total property and liability bill for the entire county. So ours does show at 78%. And then also court facilities is showing at 79.9%, and that is because we pay their annual computer software at the beginning of the year as well. So those two figures are skewed a little higher. And then the other lines that are above that percent, or like I mentioned in the previous months, are our contributions to outside agencies, as once they are paid at 100%. Overall, our expenses are still under the 41.66% at 37.2%. We are approximately $700,000 less than we were last year at this time. On page 6, Exhibit 4, our enterprise fund revenues are over expenditures by $596,000. Expenditures are 24.7% under the 41.66%. Last year, we were at 48.6%. Exhibit 5, our Gettysburg Water and Sewer District Fund. We are still closely monitoring this fund. We are seeing an increase in our revenues. They're up by $43,000 as compared to last month. They are still not where we would like them to be, so the county manager and I are monitoring these expenses and the revenues coming in for this fund. Exhibit 6, our solid waste fund. Revenues are up this year as compared to last year by 2.4%. Expenses are at 37.3%, which is under the 41.66 expected for period 5. And if you go to page 8, we have our operating cash balances. Our operating cash balances for November 30th are $6.6 million. And our North Carolina Capital Management Trust balances are at $29.2 million. Do you have any questions?
Ms. Edwards, you made on page 6, you were saying that you all were monitoring the Gettysburg Water Sewer District revenue?
Yes, ma'am. So for the past 3 monthly financial reports, I mentioned that the revenue is much lower than it was last year for the last 3 months. They had a malfunction, or their meters reached their life, and Ms. Turner is here if you have any questions additional to that. So the billings were not what they normally are, because they had to basically bill at a lower rate because the meters were not picking up the readings. So it's made the revenue come in a lot lower than it should be.
Anyone else have any questions? If not, thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now to County Manager and Board comments.
I have one additional item to share with you all tonight. You should have in front of you the budget calendar for fiscal 26-27. And as you can see, it starts in February, March timeframe where we're going to get with the department heads. We're going to get with the schools and colleges and the taxing districts to get in their request to us. And then we go through the process of putting the budget together. We'll have the budget proposal. We'll have workshops. I have 3 identified here, 3 different dates: April 20th, May 4th, and May 18th, before we finalize the budget and go to a public hearing on June 1st, all gearing up to the adoption, which is targeted for June 15th. This basically follows the same steps that we've done for the last 4 years. The only difference that we're going to do this year is we will have a budget retreat in February on the 21st, where we will have selected department heads to come in and discuss their capital improvement request. So all department heads have submitted a SIP form, which is capital improvement projects, and it's 5-year SIP form. And we'll have that and we'll present it to you all, the commissioners, and then we'll have those selected department heads, the ones who have significant requests, will come in and talk to you all and justify their purchases, including with the capital improvements. Anyone who is requesting any type of staffing additions, will have them come before you all and present that as well. So you all be aware of the capital improvements that's being requested that will be incorporated into this budget, and any additional staffing. And then you'll be able to ask and interact and engage with the department heads. This is the first year that we're doing that, so we haven't done that in years past, and I don't think it's been done before. I believe, speaking to the sheriff, he said it's not been done. So it's something that you ought to do when you putting together your SIP plan. That's all I have for tonight. Thanks everyone for coming out. I appreciate you all showing interest in your county, in our county. And one thing I did leave out, I do have alternative dates in the schedule. So if for some reason it doesn't work, we can meet on our alternative date. And if that doesn't work, we can call a special meeting to meet when we need to get this done.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll start with Commissioner Keith Edwards tonight. Comments?
I always like to go behind Kedra because she tells everything.
I figured I'd change it up on you.
So I do appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We're getting ready for maybe a rough weekend, and I hope everybody will be safe. And I always say thank you for your comments because they are important. We take it to heart. We have a good group, and we do care about Northampton quite a bit. And one thing that has been brought up is that we're talking about is we're invited to these meetings, but we don't know, can we show up with 3 commissioners there? So we're going to discuss that part of it and see how we can, because it's unfortunate that all of us can't be at some of these meetings to hear the problems that are going on. But I guess when we went to school, we were told that only 2 people can show up unless it was a advertised meeting. So bear with us. We're gonna try to work through this, but we want to let citizens know that sometimes one of us has to excuse ourselves. So hopefully we can get that changed. Thank you for coming out, and we do care about what you say. Thanks.
All right, Commissioner Woodard.
Let's say good evening to everyone, and thank you again, citizens, for coming out. And as Commissioner Edwards just shared, with the anticipation of inclement weather coming, definitely make sure that you stay safe and warm. Thank you again, Ms. Boyce, and the concerned citizens of Woodland. I'm looking forward to working with you, to have an opportunity to sit down and talk so we can really get some things going. I'm excited about it. And also, thank you to Ms. Ruby Garner, as well as Reverend Flood and the team. And is any other team members on Ms. Garner as well? Please say your name. My name is Ms. Powell. I'm a part of the team here. I was the one that delivered you all. Thank you, Ms. Powell. Thank you so much, Ms. Powell. And I heard you, Mr. Harding, thank you so much as well. And like I said, just looking forward to working together, having a committee so that we can do more outreach. That's what the citizens have been asking for. And so we're going to be looking at that as we're going into our retreat, as we're looking at our budget, and definitely being fiscally responsible, but also want to make sure that we accommodate the needs of the citizens as well. And also one clarifying point, the reason that we had the appreciation meal in Jackson is because this is our county seat, and this is where we have our meetings at. So it wasn't to be dictated to one particular community. It's just the centralized point as far as from where we meet from for our county commissioners. And so the website. So as I've been talking with some of our citizens, they've been giving me some feedback about our website. So that's one of the things that I definitely want us to take a look at as we go into our retreat, and see what we can do to make our website more user-friendly. As I hear some comments from Mr. Tashima, definitely look at all of the functionalities of the website, what we can really do to maximize that. But I have had some citizens to come to me, quite a few, in regards to our website and also our social media presence. We've been talking about it for quite some time and trying to get some type of staff member that's like around community engagement or communications. But just as we were out and about and doing different things across the county, I'm pretty sure from a staff or from a commissioner standpoint as well, we were taking pictures and trying to make sure we do all the things. But we definitely need somebody that can capture all the great things that are going on across Northampton County, because it is important. But again, just want to stress the importance of us putting more intentionality into our website and more intentionality into our technology so that it's more user-friendly for our citizens and for our stakeholders. And again, thank you everybody for bringing your concerns. Looking forward to growing and learning more together. And I hope everyone have a wonderful and safe weekend. Thank you.
Commissioner Braun, next Taylor.
I'd like to say good afternoon to everybody, and it shows your commitment and love for Northampton County when you come out here in this cold weather. As our retreat approaches, as our commissioner retreat comes up, it seems like we need to focus on the reestablishment of citizen trust in Northampton County. It seems like when one loses trust in people, that is a very hard thing to recapture. Trust is a mighty, mighty important part of a relationship, in all relationships, and the citizen relationship and the elected official relationship. And once that relationship is damaged, it's very hard to accomplish the goals in the county. So maybe that's something we need to put on our agenda as we have our retreat, how to reestablish trust, as that is very concerning to me. As my late father would say, respect is earned, not given. Trust is earned, not given away freely. So thank you for being here tonight. And please weather the storm safely. And I trust you have a good afternoon and a great evening. But I want you to know that your comments do not go unheard. Thank you very much.
Mr. Vice Chair?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank everybody for coming, and thank you for all the comments. And had the pleasure of attending the Northampton County Board of Education meeting last night, where they began discussing what they possibility they were going to do with the closure of Northampton County High School. As you know, there's a brand new high school being built, and in collaboration with the need-based grant and the help of this commission board of $1.2 million for the land and $5 million to the school system to help them get the high school for our dear county. And it was pleasant to hear the conversation that was going on in that meeting. Being on the Trillium Health Board for the last 4 years, real excited about what's going on in mental health as we see a van that comes to 2 different locations here in Northampton County, and very, very happy to say that we're getting some kibbles and nibble bites on some medical care in the form of some vans coming to Northampton County. According to the North Carolina Institute of Medicine, we are in a medical desert because there's a general rule of thumb where there should be 1 physician for every 1,500 citizens, but that is not the case in our dear county, where there is 1 for every, 8,000 physicians. Something that we've been diligently putting before as we attend meetings in national level, state level, and finally getting some kibbles and bits of a possibility of something coming to Northampton County. And in conjunction with our economic development team, we're looking forward to having those continuous conversations. And as we look forward, there's great things happening like internet coming. Mr. Nystrom, thank you for those comments. We stood here a couple of years ago where we had a Band-Aid working with US Cellular, and thank you, Ms. Garner, and we kicked off that campaign. But now we see Spectrum and 5 coming. And we're going to be looking forward to having those satellite connections so that all citizens can get internet in Northampton County. As always, thank you for your comments. We look forward to continuing serving you, making our county better. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out also tonight, and we are looking at a potential really bad storm this weekend.
Yes.
Its latest forecast is backed off of it a little bit, but it still looks like we're going to get something pretty strong. So I know they always make the run on the grocery store, but try to get your stuff before it hits, because once it hits, you may not be able to get out. So try to prepare yourself for it, and we could possibly lose power. It could be bad, so try to prepare as best you can. And thank you again for coming tonight. And Mr. Hardy, I'd like to see you for just a second as we close. I've got something I want to show you. But that's all I have tonight, and I think we need to now have a motion to go into a closed session.
Mr. Chairman, I move we go into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A4 EDC report.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi, Broadnax Taylor.
Okay, motion is carried. We'll go to closed session. I'm gonna just show him this. Where this thing is.